Hello, you guys. It is Crystal Lopez from crystalandcomp.com. How are you doing today? I hope you are having an amazing day. All right, if you're new here, do me a favor and like and subscribe. If you like large family stuff, we are a family, a large blended family actually, with 9 kids total, 5 kids still at home. Life is super fun here. So, as you guys know, I did a grocery haul for our vacation. That's the last video that you guys have seen from us. And we went to Surfside Beach for 8 days, and we did a grocery haul that included more than groceries. It did have activities and some things for kids to do and things to take to the beach, etc. But now I'm going to show you everything that we cooked for that week that we were there. So this video is going to be for all of the dinners. This first night we are making grilled chicken. Lenny got the chicken going out on the grill already. If you watched that grocery haul video, you had seen where towards the end of that video he was getting all that together. And then I'm going to make some sheet pan veggies, and I already got the rice going in the Instant Pot. I did travel with my Instant Pot because because we're a big family and I don't want to take a chance of them not having an Instant Pot when I get there. I have an 8-quart and it's really great for big family dinner. So I am cutting up the veggies here. If you remember in that last video, we stopped at a roadside produce stand and got some squash among other things. I did get these zucchinis at Walmart on our trip, which you would have seen also in the grocery haul. Also, I had purchased 2 sheet pans, cookie sheets, because I didn't think that there were any sheet pans. I didn't see any before we went to the store. Lenny ended up finding one in the cabinet. Thank goodness it was bigger. That was what I was washing a second ago. I'm using parchment paper over that, cutting up the squash and zucchini. We're going to drizzle it with olive oil. We're going to add some other stuff. I feel like I added an onion. You could add tomatoes. Really, honestly, sheet pan veggies are fantastic for cleaning out all the veggies in your fridge, but they're great for any other time too. So olive oil, and then I use Montreal steak seasoning that I buy in bulk at Costco. It's the best. It's so great on sheet pan veggies. So you'll see that going on here as well. I did travel with 3 of my big spices, and that Montreal seasoning is one of them. All right, I'm going to show you these veggies on the pan, but before I do, I'm going to grab a big jar of peanut butter to prop my camera up on. So I added peppers and onions. So zucchini, squash, peppers, onions, there's that olive oil, and there is the Montreal seasoning. Just set your oven to like 350, 395, and if you do it at 395, it's going to cook a little quicker. And just let them cook until the veggies are as tender as you like them. So there they are. So yummy. All right, we're going to load the dishwasher a little bit and do the next thing. Lenny grilled that shrimp too that he got. So there is the shrimp. It was really, really delicious. There's our plates. We have the chicken. We did chicken thighs with the rice and the veggies and that yummy, yummy bread that we got at Walmart, but it's Cheesecake Factory bread. Right now I'm doing this voiceover and it is storming here in San Antonio, and it is really making me miss the beach so much. But we're going to get the table going and get kids coming in so that they can, some of them will make their own plates. Some of them I will make their plates. Little kids, I tend to generally make their plates for them. And we're just going to have dinner together. And Matthew and Lenny played a game of chess. Matthew loves playing chess, so that was super fun. the next night was lasagna night, and initially Lenny was going to do the lasagna, but he decided to take, the little kids really wanted to go fishing just like off of a pier or whatever. So Lenny loves to fish. I said, you know what? You take them fishing. I will make the lasagna, not a big deal at all. So that's what we did. Teenagers, I think 2 teenagers went fishing too. But I got the lasagna going. We did use the beef that we got from HEB, and we made I made 2 huge pans of lasagna. So I knew that we were going to need some leftovers for lunches, but I also knew that we were going to need some leftovers for a leftover night. So that's why I made 2 big lasagnas. And that spaghetti seasoning, that is a seasoning that I buy in bulk at Sam's, and I traveled with that as well. So my lasagna is probably not as good as Lenny's. He really does such a good job. It's so yummy. And I just kind of went off of what I remember him doing in the past. I know that he uses the ricotta cheese and adds egg to it and then adds some seasoning. So I did that. And then you're going to see me do the noodles. And I don't cook my noodles ahead of time. I don't even buy the oven ready noodles. I just buy regular noodles and put them in the pan, and that I'm going to cook them in or bake them in, and they turn out just fine. Actually, I like them. They're not super soggy. I feel like sometimes the noodles get really soggy. So, all right, we're going to assemble this lasagna in just a second. So I drained the meat before I added the sauce, and then I put some meat sauce down at the bottom of the pan and then put the noodles on top. And then we're just going to kind of layer this. Honestly, this freezes very, very well. I have a recipe over on my site that's kind of similar to this, that's a lasagna that is intended to be frozen. If you want to go check out that recipe, I will leave the link here so that you have it. That would be a really great vacation meal to make ahead and freeze and then take with you, right? All right. I know you guys probably thought, man, she bought a lot of cheese on this grocery haul when you saw the video the other day. But all of this cheese, we used it up. You see how much cheese it takes to make lasagna. We're going to pop some of that frozen garlic bread into the oven. I didn't even put it on a cookie sheet. I just put it on the parchment paper. And there was Jack fishing. They had such a great time and everyone was hungry. So we used the bag salad, we had the bread, and we had lasagna, and it was great. All right, this was 4th of July day. We actually went to the beach for 4th of July, which was so much fun. We had a great time. We put up our umbrellas that we got at Costco. Matthew was riding the waves, which he loves doing and always looks forward to. We had a kite that we flew. We just chilled. I mean, the beach was packed and everybody was playing their music. Some people were cooking food. This particular beach, you can drive on the beach, so there's cars, there's golf carts. It was just so fun. All right, now we're back and we've showered and we're cleaned up, and we are going to make our hamburgers. Lenny's gonna grill hamburgers for dinner. So the only problem is when I went to get the hamburger meat out of the refrigerator, it had frozen. So some of it I was able to, it was more pliable than some of the other meat. Some of it was pretty frozen solid. What I did was I divided it into 2 different Ziploc bags and went ahead and added my seasoning to the bag. So I like to use the Lipton's onion soup mix, and I just kind of squished it around. This bag was more pliable than the other bag. I could move it better, but still, it was a little tough. And I just kind of let it all sit. Once I mixed it as best as I could, I let it sit while I made the other sides, and then came back to it and turned it into patties. So it all worked out just fine, and it was so good. All right, we are going to make the Frito corn salad. The recipe for this is over on my site. Here's what you need: creamy Italian dressing. You need 3 cans of corn. I did not even realize I bought the wrong corn. We'll get to that in a second. You need some bell peppers. I had the mini bell peppers that I was using for sheet pan dinners, so they double great for that. Like, you don't have to have a bell pepper. The mini peppers are fine. A bag of Fritos, some celery, and then I was searching on my site to find the blog post. This is a recipe from my friend Kim. We have been friends for 25, 26 years, and this is her recipe. Oh, there's an onion too. So we're chopping all this up, and in just a second, I'm going to open the corn and realize that I accidentally bought cream of corn, or what is it? Sweet cream corn, which I love that, but that won't work for this recipe. So it's 4th of July. The roads were, people in this town that we were in, there's a big bridge that, like, it's a bit of a drive to get to the Walmart or the HEB. And there's a big bridge that connects these 2 towns together. And a lot of times it gets backed up on holidays because people are coming and going from the beach. So I knew I was going to have to battle that if I wanted to go to Walmart or HEB. So once I realized that I bought the wrong corn, I had to Google and search for, I knew there were some little like gas station markets there in the area within a couple of miles, but I didn't know where they were. So I found the one that I'd heard people talking about. They did have corn. I think I paid $2.50 a can for the corn, but that's my own fault for not paying attention. So there's also celery in this recipe. So we're chopping up the corn, or I'm sorry, we're chopping up the onion, we're chopping up the celery. And yeah, in just a minute, when I start to open these cans, I was so devastated, but it all worked out and the Frito corn salad was delicious. All right, so we are making the hamburger patties. Lenny's got the grill warming up. We're going to get those all ready for him. It made a lot of burgers, which allowed us to have some for leftovers and for lunches. and then I worked on cutting up a watermelon. Sometimes I'm really great at cutting up watermelon and sometimes I'm not. So this wasn't the sharpest knife, number one. Number two, we have a really big cutting board at home that is grooved and holds the juices, and it's really big and it holds more watermelon. I feel like I'd do it better at home, but also I wasn't real consistent in the way that I was cutting this up, but it all worked out just fine. We filled that bowl up with watermelon and it lasted us a couple of days. It was so delicious and so refreshing. All right, so here is the tomato and lettuce. There are the burgers. We also did some hot dogs, and then we had the watermelon and the Frito corn salad. It was such a yummy dinner. The only thing about the Frito corn salad is if you put all of those Fritos in there, they will get soggy. If you're trying to keep it for leftovers. All right, so this is the next day. We were running out of lunch meat and a few other things, so there was an actual grocery store in the town that I found. So we went, got some more cereals, got a few extra things, more lunch meat. The kids got some Coca-Cola in a glass bottle. Honestly, it was really fun to just kind of venture out and see another grocery store. It reminded me of a little grocery store that was in my hometown that I grew up in Joshua, Texas, years and years and years ago. We had an IGA grocery store, and it kind of reminded me of that. Just very nostalgic. Anyway, so now what we're going to do I believe this is another day that we went to the beach. Before we did that, I wanted to make Verdes chicken tacos. So those chicken breasts that I had from the Walmart trip, we are going to throw all of those in the crock pot, and we're going to add 2 cans of Rotel, which you saw. We're actually adding juice and all. Don't strain it. And then we're going to add that whole can or jar, it's a jar, of the green, which it's tomatillo, the verde sauce. We're going to add that in there as well, and we're going to do some taco seasoning. And there's my big taco seasoning that I traveled with. The chicken's going to cook all day, low and slow, all day long. The tomato makes chicken incredibly tender and incredibly soft. I cooked it all day, put the lid on it. It was amazing. So once it's done, then it's very, very easy to shred it and turn it into tacos. I did not, so the lid, I put it on and I put the little clips. I did not fully engage the clips because a couple of you guys have told me recently that it's actually dangerous to close that lid all the way down with those little brackets. So thank you, whoever told me that. I really appreciate it. So we did end up going back out to the beach. I took Jack and Luke Henry. They played for a little bit. They were done, but I still wanted to sit out at the beach and read. So I took them back home, and then Lenny came back with me to the beach, and a storm started rolling in. And oh my goodness, everybody cleared out. And I'm like, no, it'll be fine. It'll be fine. And Lenny's like, no, you cannot be out here. We cannot be out here while this is happening. So we ended up going to, there's a little eatery right there by where we were at, and we went in there and let the storm pass by or whatnot. We were probably in there for an hour, and we just had an appetizer, and I love the rain. We just kind of listened to the rain. But yeah, it got pretty bad out there. It was very interesting. Good call for us to not sit out there. Anyway, not that I would have sat out there while it was raining, but I really didn't think it was going to rain that bad. I thought it may sprinkle a little bit and we would be done. All right, so now we're back at the house and we are going to shred up that chicken, but I'm trying to make rice in the Instant Pot. And did you see that? There was a Coke that somebody had put in the freezer and they recovered it. It wasn't totally frozen, but when they opened it, it just kind of started, not exploding, but I guess kind of. Anyway, we were having fun laughing at that. No one got hurt. All was well. So we're going to take 2 cans of refried beans and get those going on the stove. I've got my rice going in the Instant Pot. I just did jasmine rice with the tomato bouillon. Put that in there. We're going to let that, it'll cook in the Instant Pot in 4 minutes. While that's going, I'm going to heat up my tortillas. These are tortillas from H-E-B. H-E-B is a huge grocery store chain down here. It's in Texas. It's mostly in South Texas, but they've got quite a few locations as you go up through Central Texas, and they're finally starting to really expand more in the DFW area. They have the best homemade tortillas. So good. We always just heat them up on the griddle, or here I'm doing it in a skillet. So delicious. So I'm heating those up. The rice is going. And then when we're done with this part, we will shred up that chicken, and I'll show you just how easy it shreds. And, we got to come in and steal a few bites. So there you go. All right. We're going to cut up an avocado. Not everybody likes avocado in my house, but I love it. And there's at least one kid that likes it. There's another kid that likes it sometimes, but super delicious. This was one of the avocados I got from the little produce stand that we stopped at on our first day. And this was a delicious, creamy, buttery avocado. It was so good. All right, so now we're going to cut up the chicken. Do you see how easy, when chicken cooks in tomato, it is so easy. It just falls apart. It is so tender. All right, guys, I'm going to confess something to you. I edited this video 80 days ago, 80. And the voiceover up to this point was all done about 80 days ago. And I'm just now getting it done. Lots of reasons. One of which, just time. I broke my computer again by accident, walking through the same door frame, holding it, and the ear of it got caught in the door thing again. Seriously, I was so embarrassed walking back in to Apple saying, I need to turn this in again. Look at that chicken. Look at how amazing. It was so delicious. Anyway, and there's the rice. It's so good. I'm not kidding you. The Instant Pot is literally the easiest way ever to make rice. So easy. And there's the beans, and there's the tortillas that I heated up, and now we're going to make up some plates. Anyway, this is our vacation video from the summer. It's still not finished being edited. Just lots of things, guys. All the moving parts of a big family life, all the moving parts of running multiple businesses online. I love creating YouTube content, and then there's pieces of it that I don't love. And so trying to get through that, and making it a priority. And there's just pieces of this that kind of get in my head. Like, do I want to put my family out there? I don't need this. I don't need to do it. I have 2 incredibly successful businesses. but do I need to do this? But I enjoy it. So here we are. I think I've sorted through all of this in my mind. And the fact of the matter is I've missed connecting with you guys, and I love creating content for myself even, but also to connect with other people. Okay, so here we are. Enough of all that. Here we are. We're going to eat, and dinner was delicious. Kids are off eating at the table. We're just eating here. Since it's been so long, if you forgot why we were traveling for the summer, it was summer vacation, and you can go back and watch the grocery haul video, because it tells you all the things that we bought, why we bought what we bought, etc. So this is another dinner night, and we are going to have leftovers. We've got lots of leftovers to use up, and so that's what we're going to do. We've got the leftover hamburgers. We've got some leftover hot dogs. There's leftover lasagna. There are all kinds of leftovers, and we're just heating all of those things up. I'm pretty sure this is the day that we had gone. There's leftover chicken. We had gone to Galveston for the day. We ate out in Galveston. We ate at the Gypsy Burger place or it's called Gypsy Joint, I think, and we love that place. It's super delicious. If you're ever in Galveston, you should totally go by there. Robust menu. So many, everything is fantastic. And that's kind of scary when you have a robust menu. Can it really all be that good? Can a place that makes pizza make good pancakes? Can a place that makes amazing burgers also make homemade cinnamon rolls? Like, you know what I mean? Everything on their menu is phenomenal. So we ate out while we were in Galveston. We had a good time, and now we're coming home and we're going to eat up leftovers. And it's just kind of a hodgepodge of all the things. Makes dinner super easy. Yes, we had been at Galveston this day. I can see on my arm, I still have my wristband. We took the kids. We did, the amusement park that's on the pier, which is so much fun. I've got footage of that. Maybe I'll put it into a video too. If you ever go to Galveston, go to the pier, do all the fun stuff that's there. There's a lot to do there. We always enjoy it. All right, I'm gonna keep making plates. Right, here is one of our final days, and Lenny and a handful of the boys, plus one of my friend Kim, who the corn salad recipe, her son came. He was in Galveston with his little boys. He came to town, drove to where we were at Surfside, and Lenny and him and a couple of the other teenagers all went fishing with a fishing guide. And everything they caught, we then took it to one of the local restaurants and they cooked it up for us. That is their hard labor right there, their fish that they caught. And then we added on some sides and whatnot. And we had an amazing dinner that night. It was super fun. It was so great to catch up with Sean and he's got two little boys that are just a little bit younger than our youngest, Jack. It was great. It was such a fantastic way to end our vacation, and we were leaving the next day. And then what I also was able to do is our leftovers that I knew we weren't going to finish up that were in our fridge, I packed up a bunch of that and sent it home with him so that he could take it back to his where he was staying in Galveston, and he and his kids would have food. And not that they didn't have food, but you know what I mean, like a way to send it forward or move it forward. That was great. It was really awesome to be able to do that. So here's one of our last mornings driving around on the beach. We love this place. At some point, in the next couple of years, I would really like to buy a property out here at Surfside that we can use for ourselves when we want a vacation, and my family can use when they want a vacation, and friends, and then just have it as an investment property. I really like this little town. I think it's great. I like so much about it. But yeah, we had a really good time. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry I've been a little MIA, and I'm sorry that it took me so long to get this video done, but that's what we ate while we were at Surfside Beach for a week this summer for 4th of July. All right. Let me know how you're doing. Leave me a comment. I will be back. I've got a cleaning video. I've got a couple of more videos to do from this content that was here on this trip. Okay. I'll get that done. I promise. But I just got to get out of my head with all the things about YouTube. I'm sorry, I have a kid in the room. I don't know if you can hear that while I'm doing voiceover. There's a child in the room on his iPad, hopefully doing reading eggs. Are you doing reading eggs?
It's not my iPad.
It's Dad's iPad. That's true. Are you doing reading eggs? What lesson are you on? You're not doing reading eggs. All right, guys. I'll chat with you soon. I'll see you in the comments. Bye.